fast, and thank you.
Welcome back to BRMC's Healthy Connection. Guest today, Mike Beam, Director of Active Lifestyle Institute. You are welcome. Mike was talking about, we'll just segue right into it. Up on the internet site is
Our Jingle Bell Run.
our Jingle Bell Run.
Yep, 2011 Jingle Bell Run. It's our second annual. All the proceeds benefit the foundation houses, which you know how special that is to the community,
it sure
and
is.
special to our organization. It's December 10th, and we're moving right along. So it's going to swallow you up. So you might as well get after it.
Absolutely. Good for you, Mike. I know last year everybody was like doing our little chants of going, oh, please, it's in December. Let's have a nice day. And it was gorgeous.
It was absolutely beautiful. The start time's at 9, so a lot of those start at 7, and that's just not...
That's a little chilly.
That's not right.
That's just wrong.
That is wrong. I'd gotten out to the course about 4 o'clock in the morning last year to set the signs and do all that stuff, and I had to wonder why.
Why?
Why? Just why?
Why?
Just why?
Why am I out here?
But it's fun, you know. At 9 o'clock and 10 o'clock, you realize why. But it's a lot of fun. Took a lot of good pictures, which are on our website as well. It was just a blast. Everybody was smiling. Kids were smiling and having a blast. And it was chilly. It was cold. But we do have a vehicle that circulates around the course, and if anybody's cold and wants to quit, they can.
I think that's always a great idea.
We don't make them feel bad at all. But you know, the funny thing is, even though it was 40, 42, 3 degrees, somewhere like in there, you know, once you get going, everybody, a lot of people came across the finish line shedding clothes, you know, having sweaters tied around their waist or whatnot. But it was a great time, and we're going to do our second annual and looking very forward to it. I said a run, it's 5K, it's a run walk. And we had last year we had a 2-year-old that walked most of it. I think Mom brought the child in just the last little bit, but we had an 86-year-old male that walked the whole course and did great. So it was a lot of fun, and that's really what we're about. Is you know, if times are important to you, we'll time the race, and if that's important, that's great. If you just want to get out on a Saturday morning, donate a little money to charity, and have fun and interact with people, and have some hot chocolate and a banana, you know, that's perfect too. So,
that's wonderful.
Yeah, we just as long as you care about your health, you know, we're there to help you too.
Right, and you help with health all sorts of different ways. What else is going on at Active Lifestyle Institute? Well,
you know, it's funny. A lot's going on. We're staying really busy. Have a lot of orthopedic surgeries is kind of our niche, if you will, all along the orthopedic spectrum. Had a lot of people lately ask, and I think we've done a really good job. We've been around for about 2.5 years. A lot of people have been asking lately, and I think this is kind of cyclic. People are asking again, what is a service line? What does a service line do? How does that benefit the patient? So I appreciate the opportunity, but basically a service line is the Active Lifestyle Institute takes care of a specific group of patients, and that group of patients are orthopedic patients. So, and there's some talk within the hospital right now. I believe we're looking at implementing a cardiac service line. So we're also, I won't say that it absolutely will happen, but I know senior leadership is looking at it, and I'm actually taking a trip very soon to look at the possibilities and actually begin the implementation of a cardiac service line.
Which would be wonderful. We've already got in place, we've had folks on the show talking about the Mended Hearts program that has recently started, which is a national program, as you well know, and that's getting underway where volunteers, most of who have had some sort of heart condition themselves one time or another, who better to try and alleviate the fears of those that are going to go through some sort of heart process than those that can tell them what they can and can't and what they may or may not experience, but most of all to give them hope and to alleviate those fears, as I mentioned, that nope, it'll all be okay. And these are extremely well trained. These are not just folks that are going to casually drop in somebody's room. They will be called and requested and come over and sit with someone and try and answer the questions that they are most concerned about. So,
you know, and it's nice to see, and that's one thing I'm really excited about a cardiac service line, is we have the resources, both in regards to past patients, in regards to our cardiologist, in regards to, we have a cardiothoracic surgeon, Dr. Elkins. I mean, an incredible asset to a community this size, almost unheard of.
Pretty much unheard of.
Absolutely. We're very blessed.
Every show I say we are so blessed in this community.
You know, and I think most people in the community realize that. A lot of people don't. And I would say the ones that don't either haven't had sometimes the misfortune of having to interact with a hospital very much, or maybe just new to the community.
But make assumptions that aren't really true.
True enough.
It's
true
all
enough.
here.
You know, it really is. You know, in rare circumstances does somebody really need to leave this community for health care. And I understand I'm employed by the hospital. I love my job, and I am biased, but I'm also pretty honest, you know, and we've been in meetings where we talked about how we can do things better and do them differently, and it's all to the benefit for the community.
Right.
So,
and that's always the goal. We stress that here when we're on the show, that many processes that we have in place at the hospital are good, but we're always trying to make good better.
Always make them better.
Always make them better. There's always room for improvement.
Rarely is something perfect, and especially, you know, and we talk about it, and not in a joking manner, but really on we have a joint replacement team, and fracture care team, and sports medicine team, and we have some teams within the orthopedic service line, and we've said before, you know, we're not dealing with widgets. We're not making. You know, we're not an assembly line. Everybody's different. No two surgeries this year are going to be the same, even though it's a joint replacement of a 65-year-old male or 52-year-old female, whatever the case may be. It's not the same.
Nope.
It's not the same.
So they're all going to be individual.
They're all very different, and that's one thing I'm very proud. Denton Ships is a nursing director on 5 South, the orthopedic floor, and I tell you, he's always been very conscientious and good at what he does. But the service line, I think, has brought and certainly changed me. But I think it's changed us all. We're all very clinically focused on quality and the things that they do at Cleveland Clinic and Mayo Clinic and all the big specialty hospitals we're doing here. And are we where we want to be? No. Are we where we were? Absolutely not. You know, years
always
ago.
Always moving forward.
But we, you know, and true, we are always moving forward, but our metrics are right in line within the orthopedics as national trends go, best practice. We're rapidly getting there, and a lot of our metrics are better than national averages. So
which we love.
We do. We absolutely
We're very
do.
proud of those.
Well, and I was talking to a group just yesterday, and we were talking about how the length of stay in 1995 was over 7 days for an orthopedic, a total joint replacement patient.
Because it was so invasive.
It was so invasive. The technology and the implants was not what it is today. The methodologies, the therapies weren't what they are today. Today, those patients are around the hospital for 3.5 days. Sometimes in their second day, they go home. And what I want to stress is I'm very proud of the hospital. Obviously, people look at finances and things like that appropriately. But on the nursing floor, no clinician, no nurse, nobody that touches that patient, has direct contact with that patient, has a clue about the cost of the care for that patient.
Right.
They absolutely do what's best for the patient. At the end of the day, the doctor, the physician, says, okay, Miss Smith may go home, or Mr. Jones needs to stay here a little while longer. Let's just make sure everything's in order before we send the patient home. And that's how it's done.
But by having this whole process in place, like you're doing, and that's what you're talking about with, like, for instance, the joint team. I mean, these teams are making sure that the patient is educated prior to surgery.
Absolutely.
That they really understand what's going to be happening to them, and expand upon that a little bit more.
Yeah, basically with the service line, and you touched on it and really hit it well. We don't dictate what the physicians tell or how they treat their patients. That's their patient, and they manage them. What the physicians' offices are helping us do is assign a patient to a pre-op joint class, we call it, a joint replacement class, and they're educated on what the surgery is, what it's like, the experience they may have, what's common to most all joint replacement surgeries, and kind of what they can expect to alleviate some anxiety, maybe some fear, and just talk in a group setting. They interact with the nurses that are going to take care of them. They interact with the other patients that may be going in the same day or within a day or two of them. They'll see those same patients in the gym, and it's not uncommon at all for the patients to start competing with each other.
And, interesting.
And it is a very interesting dynamic.
I can do more.
Absolutely. You know, if they come into the class on a Monday, maybe their surgery's the next Monday, and you'll see two guys or the women just being so competitive in their own care. And that's what we really want to stress to them too, is we will do everything we can. We have a lot to do, and we'll darn sure make sure we do it.
You need to do yours.
A lot of it is incumbent on the patient. If we can do all that we can do, but if a patient is just not going to put the effort in, they're probably not going to have the outcome that they would otherwise had they put in the effort. So a lot of healthcare still relies on the patient to get up and get going and get active.
Let's pursue that a little bit further. We need to take a quick break. Sorry, Mike.
No problem.
We'll be right back. Don't go away. We want to keep going and tell you all about our Active Lifestyle Institute at BRMC.